Have you ever had somebody go to your real estate website and fill out one of those get more information contact forms on your site and then never respond to any of your follow up emails? It's not just you. It used to happen to me too. So let's talk about what most agents do after they get a new lead. They panic and they think, I got to call them right now. And it depends on where that lead came from. If you bought that lead from one of the big portals, there is such a thing as speed to lead. But when they come in through your website and they're warm in some capacity, doing that turns them off. You just are coming across as desperate because you called them within minutes. I did that one time. It was a warm lead. It was somebody that had been watching my YouTube videos. He went to my website, filled out a form. I called him within 30 seconds and he said, this is kind of freaky because I'm watching videos of you right now and now I'm talking to you. And we had a good laugh about it. But I remember that very clearly because it was kind of a turnoff. It was a little bit like, are you stalking me? You need to back up. So you might think that immediate follow-up equals good service, but to the consumer, that might mean like you're sounding a little desperate. You need to chill out a bit. So it doesn't mean it's a bad lead. It just means that it's kind of a bad start to the relationship. And if you're thinking, okay, but I do follow up and I follow up really well, let's talk about why one-off messages are hurting you more than you might think. When you call someone and you don't really have a purpose for calling other than just checking in, all you're doing is saying, I'm trying to find out if you are ready to give me a deal. I'm trying to find out if you're ready to buy or sell a house so that I will get a client and I will get a commission. You're not calling to offer any sort of value for them. So you don't really know why you're calling, and they don't know why you're calling either. So everybody ends up feeling very uncomfortable and awkward. If you're going to call somebody, you want to have a purpose for doing so. You want to be telling them something that would add value to them. If they're interested in buying, you could share a tip like, I just read something in the news about how we can blah, blah, blah. Tell them something that is new and unique and would be valuable information for them. But if you call and say, just checking in, they're going to stop answering your calls when they see you on caller ID. And if you've got a list that's kind of gone dead, good news, it's not dead. It's just dormant. It's just waiting for you to come along with a better approach. So how many times have you gotten a lead and they didn't respond to you right away and you said something to yourself like, well, if they were really serious, they would have responded to me. They would have called me back. They would have replied to my email. And we tell ourselves that it must be a bad lead. They were not really serious. They were not interested, and that's why they didn't respond. But what if they just felt bombarded by us because we were on them like white on rice as soon as they came in through our website, and they're getting turned off by that? So they stop responding to you, not because they're not serious, simply because they feel like you are just too in their face all the time. So if we're not chasing them down, what should we be doing instead? We don't want to chase them. We want to nurture them and warm them up to the point where they feel comfortable talking to us face to face, whether it's on the phone, it's on a Zoom call, or in person. They want to have a conversation with us, not just communicate through email and text. Because when you chase them, that's like when you go to the store and as soon as you walk in the door, can I help you? No, thanks, I'm just looking. Then 2 seconds later, somebody else says, can I help you? And like every salesperson in the store says, can I help you? Can I help you? And you're like, back off. No, I just want to look around. When we contact them too frequently with no apparent reason for the call or the text, it turns them off and they start to immediately put up that wall and say, I don't want to talk to you. You're not making this fun. You're not making this enjoyable. You're bothering me, and I'm really wishing you would just go away. So how do we warm them up? What does that look like in real life? Let's talk about some practical tips. Here's what I do. When I'm trying to generate leads in the first place, I'm thinking, who am I talking to? What is something that they're struggling with that I can answer for them? And what can I make that's just a resource that I can give them for free that will answer that question and bring them into my database so that I can continue to build a relationship with them. So it's not just a buyer's guide. It's not just a seller's guide. It is a military first-time buyer's guide. It is a Downsizing guide because you're selling your house since you're going to be moving out of state. It's very specific, and they feel like, yes, that's exactly my situation. You are accurately describing what I'm going through. That is a question I have. That's a problem I'm struggling with. I want your guide because it's going to answer my questions. So I've talked about this a million times. How do we make these lead magnets? I just make them in Canva. I'll leave a link in the description below with a resource if you just want to steal mine so you don't have to create them from scratch. But I make this in Canva. I customize it for the audience who will be requesting it. I download it as a PDF. I upload it to Google Drive and I share it with a public link so that they don't get that error message that says you have to log into your Google account in order to see this thing. Don't do that. Make sure that it's the public share link. And then I create a landing page on my website. I go to my website, I create a single landing page. Don't send them to your homepage and make them hunt for this thing. Send them to, KarinCarr.com/military first time buyer guide. It is specific for that specific guide, specifically. How many times can I say specifically that they are downloading? And we send them right to that page. There's not a lot of clutter on that page. I will link a video up here about what you should put on a landing page so that it is effective and people will actually fill out the form. Because there's a lot of design problems that I see out there. And when you go to someone's landing page, if it's cluttered, if they're confused, if you give them too many choices, they're not going to fill it out. So if you have landing pages on your website and nobody is filling them out, there's only two reasons. Number one is you're not sending any traffic there. So try sending traffic there. Or two, it's not a good landing page because too many choices, too cluttered, unclear what it is that they're getting. Then after they fill out the form, you got two choices. They can go directly to that page on Google Drive where your document is. They can download it immediately, or they can just go to a page that says, thank you, go check your email. They can get fancier than that, but that's the basics of it. Don't overcomplicate it. If this is your first time making a funnel, make it simple. Just say, thank you so much, go check your email. And then your CRM will start this automated follow-up campaign. So email number one delivers the thing that they just wanted. And you don't have to download it as a PDF and attach it to your email. Just put the link for the Google Drive location. So you say, thanks so much for requesting your seller downsizing guide. Download it here. And then you put the little link down below. And then you'll send them another email the next day and you'll send them a text message. And if they give you their phone number, by all means, pick up the phone and call them. But we want as much of this to work automatically as possible. So text messages and emails will work great if your CRM is able to send both. I have done a ton of videos about landing pages and funnels. So I'll link a couple of my favorites down below if you want to go deeper into this topic, because this is how I built a database of thousands and thousands of people. They all went to my website because of YouTube videos. I sent them to my website. They opted in for these guides. They went into my database, and my team and I were able to close hundreds of deals that cost $0 in buying leads or referrals or ads, quite frankly. It was 100% organic and it worked wonderfully. But what if you've got a database full of cold leads? People are not engaging. They're not opening your emails. They're not reading. They're not replying. What do you do then? This is a brilliant strategy, and I don't know who to give credit to for the person that invented it, but it's called the 9-word email. And basically, you send an email to everybody in your database that has not opened an email, has not responded to you. You can say, in the last 60 to 90 days, you can do longer than that. You choose what the time frame would be. And the email says, name, I have a question in the subject line. And when they open it, it says, are you still thinking of buying a home this year? It may not be exactly 9 words, but it's pretty darn close. Are you still thinking of selling your house this year? That's it. That is all that is in the email. Karin, are you still thinking of buying a house this year? Karin. You will be amazed at how many people will reply back. And if they say, yes, we already bought a house, you can take me off your list. Fine. Now I know I don't need to keep emailing them because they're not a prospect for me anymore. Good. I don't need to waste my time and energy on someone who's not really a valid prospect. They're not opening my emails anyway, which is destroying my reputation with my email sender. It's making me go to spam. It's making me go to the promotions tab. So that's good. Let's get rid of those people. We'll clean up our database. And if they say, yes, I'm still thinking, we had to take time off because, my mom got sick and I had to take care of her. I'm thinking we're going to be back in the the realm of doing this all maybe in another 3 months. Good. Now we know. Now we know why they weren't answering your emails. It had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with their situation. Awesome. And if they don't answer that email, you can look and see, did they even open it? And if they didn't, send it to them again. Send it a few days later. You could slightly change the subject line so they won't think it's the exact same email, but it's the same email. Just send it to them again. They didn't open it the first time. Maybe they'll open it the second time. This whole funnel system of responding to emails with this methodology is not just theory. It works. Let me tell you a great story. I had somebody that downloaded a guide from my website, and on the form, it says name, email, phone number, how soon are you looking to move? And he said 7 years, but he put a phone number in. So I called him and I said, if you really didn't want to talk to me, you shouldn't have put your phone number in there. You said you're moving in 7 years. Like, ha, 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 ha. I thought I was being funny. And he said, no, I really am moving in 7 years. We're going to retire in 7 years and come to Savannah. I'm just starting to do a little bit of advanced legwork. So while we were talking about prices and areas and all of the things. And he said, could you start emailing me properties that are for sale just so I can get an idea of what stuff costs there? Lo and behold, 3 weeks later, we were writing offers on houses and we were under contract. So even though he said 7 years is when my time frame is, it turned out that less than 30 days later, we were under contract to get him a house. And why? It was because I made him an offer that was so irresistible. He wanted it. He opted in. I sent him the email immediately that had the thing attached, but I also called him because he gave me his phone number. And my magic script was, hey, Dan, I saw that you downloaded my guide. Are you thinking about moving to Savannah soon? That's it. That's literally all I say. And then I let them talk. So if you want to implement a funnel like this for yourself, watch this video next, the secret $500,000 funnel strategy that changed my entire business. And when you watch that and implement it for yourself, it's going to make your life so much easier.